Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Hare and Forbes Machinery House, Pace Farm, Hero Hoists, and Martin's Panel Masters.
And of course, Americana entrants have the opportunity to cruise through the township of Mania, which is the bread capital. A lot of people move here to the town and, well, they work long shifts because they need the dough. And of course, they are here for a slice of the action. They know what side their bread's buttered. And speaking of which, we've got no more time to loaf around here. We're going to keep on going to the next town to bring you more of Americana. Hello and welcome back to Classic Restos, where part 2 of Americana for 2018 continues, and you'll see more right after this.
It's thanks to Shannons. Ask about multi-policy discounts and sign up for the Shannons Club. Call 134646 for a quote and see more at shannons.com.au. And Hare and Forbes has the range. Buy online at machineryhouse.com.au.
Americana is over 4 huge days, with the grand finale being the Show and Shine Park Up on the Saturday here in Devon Street, New Plymouth. This is where almost 900 American classics, preserved cars, or any American-built vehicle lace this main street. It's the opportunity for the public to see these cars up close and personal. Our Kiwi neighbours take this event seriously, and they host these events with as much enthusiasm and exuberance as the cars themselves. Americana has etched itself as the largest event of its kind in New Zealand. It's great for New Plymouth, its people, and I'm sure that each vehicle with a soul enjoys it as well. Now, before we get cracking, on last week's show we had the legendary Friday night cruise. Now, if you've missed that, not that there's any excuse because you can see that on the Shannons Club, but you might like to see some of it again. And if that's the case, here it is, just for you. First cab off the rank for the Americana 2018 park up here in Devon Street. How are you, Mandy?
I'm fabulous, Fletch. Thanks very much. Having a great time here.
Having fun, right?
Yeah, these New Plymouth people are so friendly.
Isn't it an event?
It's such a great event. We only came last year for the first time and had to come back this year.
Yeah. It has that, it's kind of, it's infectious, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Yeah.
Yep, same people, all love their cars just like we do.
Now, you've got a couple of cars, but one main one here that I want to feature on today's show, this incredible 1948 Plymouth Woody. Wow, have a go at it. The surfboard there on top, does that set it off or what? What an incredible looking thing.
I know. I was searching online for Woodies for sale and didn't know whether I wanted a Chevy or a Ford or a Buick, and this came up and I just knew.
I think when it comes to this type of vehicle, it doesn't really matter. They're just all so cool, aren't they?
Well, yeah, they are, but this was meant to be mine, yep. and the history about her and the friendship I've formed with the previous owner is just so special.
I think too, lots of Fords, lots of Chevys, being a Mopar, that's kind of different in itself as well.
And we've got a few Mopars in the family.
Yes, so I heard.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Mandy, now tell us what you can about this one. The history, what you've done to it, what it's like as a vehicle.
Okay, she's been a barn find, so she spent 10 years as an iron ore mining company work truck in Michigan, then got put in a barn for 35 years, and Bruce Moffat bought her, took her out of the barn, and he restored her.
Bless, it's hard. I mean, it's like talking about somebody sitting in a nursing home and then someone rescues them kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's got that sort of it's got a soul, this vehicle, hasn't it?
She has, but somebody looked after her. They painted the wood brown and filled the engine up with oil, and they pulled her out and started her up, stripped off the paint, and this is what you see now. All original, American ash wood, beautiful.
Now, has that wood been removed from the car? Has it been reconditioned?
Yeah, in 1993, Bruce Moffat completely stripped her down, and that's what we see now. 1993, it's a long time ago still.
I think the timber work is amazing.
Yeah, and you have to feel her. I mean, we don't like people touching our cars here.
Yeah.
She just screams out to be touched. Yeah.
That's really deep, isn't it? I mean, I can talk about this for ages, and I'm not going to bore you here on today's show. I believe that these vehicles have a soul. And where that can be proven is how many times has somebody bought a vehicle that ran trouble-free off an owner that they had for decades. They buy the car and things start going wrong with it. Now, you know, you hear that a lot.
She's been so loved. Only 50,000 miles. I'm her fourth owner, and everybody's just taken such good care of her.
Yeah.
And I spoke to the previous owner, Tom Brown, in hospital a week before he passed away, and we both cried over the phone. And he said he couldn't have thought of a better person to have as Woody and look after her. And he died knowing she was in New Zealand, getting looked after as much as he loved her.
What a beautiful story, Mandy. It really is. When you drive this, it's such an incredible car. It's not as though when you pull up at the traffic lights, there's going to be another one next to you. It's such an individual, personal vehicle, isn't it?
Every single person smiles that sees her, and so we call her our happy car because she puts a smile not only on my face but everybody who sees her. Yeah, she's cool.
You can't say any more words than that, Mandy. Thank you so much for coming back to the car for an interview. I just had to have you on today's show, and lovely featuring yourself and this incredible 48 Woody.
Awesome, Fletch. Thanks very much for letting me talk about her.
That's okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
My passion for cars began when Nana and Pop bought their new Toyota Crown. It was Nana's, really. She loved that car. We went everywhere in it. My passion now is just the same, even though my cars are a little different. I've still got Nana's car, couldn't part with it. And I reckon if she was here today, she'd be insured with Shannons too.
Call Shannons on 13 46 46. Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts.
How would you like to double your garage space and work on your cars easily? Well, bring in your own hero with a Lift King hoist. Easy to install models in 1, 2 and 4 post styles. Check the very nifty Spider 2500 portable mini scissor lift. Hero hoists are either Oz certified or carry the Euro CE, your guarantee of quality construction and reliability. I regularly stand under my Lift King, so when you need a bit of a lift, why don't you go stand under yours? Martin's Panel Masters has 3 modern accident repair centres. They service Melbourne's inner, outer east and the fast-growing southeast corridor. Your vehicle will receive the best from state-of-the-art repair equipment finished beautifully from computer-based paint mixing systems, finished in Australian compliant spray booths. Martin's Panel Masters, located at Ferntree Gully and Berwick, also Box Hill Panels. If you have a restoration project, Hare and Forbes has the tools that you need. Shrinker stretchers, dollies, mallets, bead rollers, profile gauges, professional panel restoration kits, and so much more. Now I warn you, enter at your own risk because you will end up buying something. So come along to your Cap City store or browse and buy online at machineryhouse.com.au because Hare and Forbes has the range. from a sensational Woody Wagon to this guy here. How you doing, Wayne?
Doing fine, thanks, Fletch. Yeah.
Yeah. Mate, beautiful 1967. I like what you've done here to this Mustang. Bit of custom mod.
Yeah, we tried to retain the 67 look with modern running gear. Yeah. So it's 67 on the outside, but underneath it's 2014.
First of all, the body of the 67. Nice lines with the 67. Clean dash. It's one of the years that I like in a Mustang. You've got that highlighted and accentuated beautifully with that interior. Tell us about that first of all.
Some of the Allanors that were being built, they had the interior similar, but they were black. Right. And I didn't want the black. I wanted a parchment, which was the original colour inside this car when we bought it. Yep. And we finally got a guy in the States to put it together for us. Yep. I had to buy the rest of the roll, which I've still got enough to do another 2 or 3 cars, but we got it in the colour we wanted, and pretty happy with what they come up with. Yeah,
it's beautiful. It is just so inviting when you see the inside, the way that those seats bolster, and again the contrast, the colour of the interior up against that the beautiful brushed aluminium appearance dashboard there is spot on. Now, the driveline, you've gone with the late model engine, the 5-litre Coyote. What have you done? Transmission, diff?
The clutch in it is a twin plate race clutch. The gearbox is a Magnum T56 Tremac. Mm-hmm. Then the rear end is independent, built by Heights in the States with inboard. It's like a 9-inch centre with inboard brakes. Yep. Penske shocks all round for handling. Yep. And then on the front we've got the Brembo brakes on the Heights front. All the brakes are out of a 2012 302 Boss. Yep. And not only does it go, it stops. So
it's nice that you've changed the dynamics of the car to the level that you have, yet, as you say, you've still got that feel when you drive it, because, let's face it, when we're in our classic cars, that's what it's all about, and you don't want to be too removed from that.
No, that's exactly right. Otherwise, you might just as well drive a modern car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, speaking of which, tell us quickly about the 5-litre Coyote engine. Give us the rundown on that. In your opinion, I know you're happy with it.
Yeah, very happy with it. We came across it by chance from a friend of mine who was working for Ford Racing in America. It was one of 6 of their race motors left over from their program, because they went from the 5-litre engine to the 5.2 flat crank motor. Yep. We were lucky to secure one of them, and we bought the engine, and when everything arrived from Ford, they'd supplied the clutch, the gearbox was with it. The whole package was from spare parts from the actual drag race program. So we were quite lucky. I was quite shocked that when we went to pick the engine up, I thought I was just getting an engine in a box, but we had a truck that was had every area on it was jam packed with stuff from Ford. So Ford were pretty. They virtually emptied out their bin of race stuff, and we ended up with it, so it was great.
Talk about timing and being in the right place at the right time, Wayne. Absolutely. Wayne, tremendous talking to you. It's also great that this 67 is also a coupe as well, I might say.
Correct, yeah. I preferred the coupe over the fastback. More, I wanted to get away from the Allan. The concept of all the Allan.
It's a very traditional shape, this, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And we've had race cars in this shape, and I just love the 67 coupe. So
good on you, Wayne. Well done. Now this bloke, well, he's been pulled out of the bar. He was enjoying a beer, so I'll let you get back to it, mate. All right. So
great. Thanks very much, Fletch. Yeah,
welcome,
nice
mate.
Talking to you.
You too. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
Cheers.
From a Plymouth Woody to a Mustang. Now time for a Camaro. How you doing, Kev?
Good, mate. How you going, Fletch?
I'm good. You enjoying yourself?
Yeah, really good. Yeah. Really good. Yep.
You'd be living for this, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah. What a turnout every year. John Ray and the Americana team blocking off Devon Street here, as far as the eye can see. Pretty spectacular, isn't it?
Yep. Really good for New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yep. It's good that you're over here taking some movies of us.
Oh, that's nice of you, Kev.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Good on you. Now, you've got a very, very smart 1970 Camaro here. Good-looking car, nice coloured car, popping in the sun. What can you tell us about this one?
Well, we've owned it for about 5 years, and
take your time, Kev.
Just done it up. Yeah. Pulled it all apart and did everything it could be. Everything's all brand new in it. New bushes all the way through, new motor, gearbox, everything.
It's the only way to do it, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yep.
I mean, it's nice to drive a car that hasn't been restored, as long as there's some little things you do just to make them new again, like you're talking about, your suspension componentry, brakes, cooling system, stuff like that.
Yep, that's all it's done. New
Engine up front, what are we running there, Kev?
350, 290 horse crate motor.
Yep.
Yeah, twin Ellerbrooks on it.
Does a nice job?
Does a real nice job. Yeah, it's got a turbo 700 in the behind it. It's all been done up by Chuck Mans, and it's got a 78 Pontiac limited slip 2.4 diff in the back.
Yeah, right. Now, Kev, up on top of the engine there, 2 4-barrels. They look superb. Are they tuned nice? No flat spots when you bring the power on?
No, you just got to point the car in the right direction first.
Hang on a bit.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah.
Okay, mate. Now, inside the interior, now, to me, looks very original. The high back buckets. What's the story there?
Yep, it's all original, just all brand new kit that's been done in there. The only thing we didn't do was the roof lining because it was all right, so everything else got replaced.
A few subtle changes around the Speedo clusters as well. You've gone upmarket mod there.
Yeah, that's all up market. It's got a electronic speedo in it, and just to make it a little bit better, and different shifter in it to match the 7-speed.
Yep, sure.
Or the Turbo 700.
Yep. Makes a big difference with the overdrive, doesn't it?
Yeah, really good. Yeah.
Good on you, Kev. Well done, mate. Well, enjoy the rest of Americana here, the big park up, the show and shine day. You got to travel far when you leave here?
Oh, just back to the Waikato, back to Hamilton.
Yeah.
So it's only about 3 hours, 4 hours away.
I'm glad you pronounced that town.
Right, now we're here.
Yeah, right here. Is that what it is now, right here?
Right, no, now we're here.
Oh, now why are we here? I don't know. I'm never going to get it right.
Because of all these cars and these people.
Never going to get these towns right. Good on you, Kev. Cheers, mate.
Right.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
Martin's Panel Masters has 3 modern accident repair centres. They service Melbourne's inner, outer east and the fast-growing southeast corridor. Your vehicle will receive the best from state-of-the-art repair equipment finished beautifully from computer-based paint mixing systems, finished in Australian compliant spray booths. Martin's Panel Masters, located at Ferntree Gully and Berwick, also Box Hill Panels. Hare and Forbes Machinery House has been family owned and operated for over 85 years, and it's easy to see why. Planning on welding? Look at these welding tables and clamps, air compressors and different air tools, sandblasting cabinets, through to spray guns. Everyone is welcome at Machinery House. There are competitive freight rates around Australia, and you can buy online at machineryhouse.com.au. So remember, Hare and Forbes has the range.
In 1954, American designer Claire R. Macachan attributed to the styling of the incredible 1957 Chevy Bel Air. To tell us more, here's Allan.
Well, Fletch, I've had this vehicle, this beautiful 1957 Chev, for around about the last 4 years, and I imported it from the United States of America. It actually come from Missouri. It come from a dealer, Daniel Smith Motors, and all the information I can get on it is that it come from North Carolina, where they don't put salt on the road, and it had absolutely no rust in it whatsoever. And as you can see, it is a very nice example of a 57 Chev.
Al, you've got yourself a gem here. We see Chevys that are 4-door. They're pillarless. It's not every day of the week that we have a 2-door like this. It's got disc brakes, power steering, a Continental kit out the back. What an extraordinary car.
Yep, it's unbelievable. I had a 37 Ford with a Carson top, and it was a hot rod type car. And I sold that, and I said to my missus, right, get on the internet. I want a 57 Chev. I want 2-door pillarless, red and white, power steer, disc brakes, and right-hand drive. But I said, forget about the right-hand drive, because I said that'll be pretty hard to find in America. And she actually went on the internet, flicked it up, and this car popped up in Missouri.
Just a personal view from myself, but I think an American car, leave it alone. Left-hand drive, they are made that way, leave it be. Unless they left the factory as a right-hand drive, that's a different story. But there's something about driving an American car left hook. Would you agree, Al?
Well, there is, but it's amazing. After you've driven it for a day or two, you get used to it, and like now, you don't even notice that you're driving left-hand drive.
Exactly. Why would you go through butchering your car and doing a conversion when you can just leave it be, leave it the way it was designed?
Yep. Well, one of the problems was that my missus didn't want to sit on the right-hand side without a steering wheel. But I said, well, you either come with me or you don't, so get used to it. Absolutely. Well, after a few days and a few miles around the country, she got quite used to it. Now she doesn't mind at all.
Talking about the go-go department up front of this 57, what power is it, Al?
It's just 283 with a 2-speed power glide and just a standard 12-bolt 3.08 ratio diff in it. It's virtually completely standard, numbered car, all match and everything with it. And the car, when I brought it, I rung the guy in the States when I seen it advertised, and I rung them up, the dealership, and I said to him, oh, you advertising 57 Chev 2-door? He goes, yeah. I said, what's that car like? He goes, oh, God, man, it's a beautiful car. And I thought, oh, yeah, here we go. Anyway, I said, well, what I want to do is get someone to check it out for me. So I gave me the number of 2 people that do vintage car inspections over there. And one of the guys I got onto was a judge for the vintage cars shows. And he had a look at it, and he came back to me and he said, what a beautiful car. He said, that is a really magnificent car.
The gavel came down.
Yep.
It was affirmed. It was a good car for Al. Yep. There's something about these 57s. We talk of the GM chain and Chevy being down on the bottom rung, but they have their options, which puts them up there in high accolades. Look at the stainless. Look at the trim on a 57 Chev. You start at the rear with the rear quarter with that beautiful Bel Air insignia there with the trim. We move around to the front of the car. The grille is absolutely outstanding on these 57s. And then we have a nice interior as well that looks very, very original too, Al.
Yep, that's right. This one appears and sold to me as a 46,000 mile car when I brought it. And I've been over the whole car, and it appears that the mileage is fairly correct on it, which is amazing. It doesn't look like it's had any major work done on it whatsoever.
So, Al, I know you're having fun here. Well, your thoughts on Americana for 2018? Someone that's watching, that hasn't been to one of these Americanas before, what are your words of wisdom?
Well, I would say you'd be hard to find a better event and better run than what the Americana is in New Plymouth. You find that you meet people you've never seen before, you become friends with them so quickly, and at least everybody's got the same interest, which is motor cars. Whether it's a Ford, a Chev, a Pontiac or whatever, doesn't matter. Everybody's friendly. I'd like to congratulate John Ray on the event that he runs, and also the event trust. The people here are just unbelievable, and they've got to be congratulated for the whole team.
Good on you. Thanks very much, Al. Wonderful catching up with you, mate.
Okay, thanks, Fletch, very much. Thanks for that. Very good. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Well, I hope you've really enjoyed this last 2 weeks' episodes of Classic Restos featuring the incredible Americana for 2018. It's a big hats off to John Ray, Nadine White and the entire Americana team. Now, if you're thinking about popping over to the North Island of New Zealand and checking out this glorious region, you can find out more information when you go to visittaranaki.info. And in the meantime, no matter where you're watching Classic Restos from, until next week, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching.
You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Classic Restos TV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au. Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Hare and Forbes Machinery House, Pace Farm, Hero Hoists, and Martin's Panel Masters.